You know what's crazy? Millions of gardeners out there still think you need acres of land to grow your own fruit. But I'm about to show you 7 dwarf trees that'll absolutely explode with production. Right in a pot on your small balcony or patio. Stick around until the end. Because tree number 7 is such a fast-producing machine, it literally pays for itself in your very first season. But look, I'm not here to play fake iStock footage and lie to you about some romanticized, unrealistic yield. Here is the cold, biological truth. If you don't know the rule about potted roots dropping 2 USDA hardiness zones compared to the ground, or how to hand-pollinate with a paintbrush on a high-rise balcony, all you're going to get this winter is a row of dead, frozen sticks. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we dive into the facts. If you're serious about growing food, without throwing real money away at the nursery, hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on notifications, because I drop raw, actionable videos every single week. Let's start with number 1, the Meyer lemon. An established Meyer lemon tree can easily toss 50 to 100 fruits into your kitchen every single year. It's naturally semi-dwarf, perfectly happy in a 15-gallon container. That is exactly 57 liters of soil for those tracking international metrics. But what makes it a gold mine is that it's ever-bearing. You will literally see flowers, tiny green fruit, and heavy, ripe lemons, all hanging on the same branch at the exact same time. It's like having a grocery store on your patio. But here is why your potted lemon tree blooms beautifully and then drops every single flower without setting a single fruit. You listened to AI-generated scripts and placed it on a high-rise balcony where bees never fly. Yes, it is self-fertile, but in a stagnant, windless apartment pocket, the pollen cannot move. You have to play nature's part. Take a tiny watercolor paintbrush or a Q-tip and gently swirl it inside the blossoms every morning. To move that pollen manually, forget expensive commercial citrus fertilizers. Just feed it organic fish emulsion every 2 weeks during the growing season. It costs maybe $15 a year, and your tree will be loaded. At sunset, stand on your patio, catch that heavy citrus scent drifting 30 feet before you even see the fruit, and realize you'll never pay grocery store prices for lemons again. That brings us to number 2, the fig that loves abuse. Figs are where container gardening flips the script, because most people don't realize that figs actually prefer being slightly root-bound. When you cram a fig's root system into a confined container, you trigger a survival instinct that forces the tree to stop growing wood and start pumping out heavy crops earlier in the season. Look for specific dwarf cultivars like Petite Negre, Chicago Hardy. A single mature potted fig can push out over 100 sweet fruits in one summer. That is not an exaggeration. But the mainstream catalogs won't tell you the real trap. First, figs demand 6 to 8 hours of blazing, full sun. Put it in a shaded balcony corner, and your fruits will turn yellow and drop while they're still the size of marbles. Second, when a harsh winter hits, gardeners panic. They drag the pot inside and set it right next to the living room heater. That dry, artificial air is a death sentence that shrivels the wood. Remember the biology. Figs fruit on new growth. Even if the top dies back, the spring shoots will still give you fruit the same year. So when freezing temperatures arrive, put the tree in a dark, unheated garage or shed to let it sleep. Wrap the pot in burlap to insulate the roots. Stop watering and let it rest. During the summer fruit rush, let the soil dry out slightly between waterings. It stresses the tree just enough to concentrate the natural sugars, making your homegrown figs taste like rich, warm candy. A massive slap to those cardboard store-bought packages that cost $8 for a tiny box. And if you think controlling sugars in figs is a game changer, wait until you see how a container lets you dominate the soil biology for our next fruit. Number 3, the blueberry. You can grow blueberries sweeter and heavier than commercial farms, right on your patio. The secret isn't expensive fertilizers. It's a strict acidic soil pH. Keep it between 4.5 and 5.5. Regular potting mix kills them. But in a 15-gallon container, which is exactly 57 liters of soil for those tracking international metrics, you are the absolute master of the root environment. Just mix your soil with peat moss. Create an instant acid haven. Look for specific dwarf cultivars like Top Hat, Peach Sorbet, They stay under 3 feet tall, look gorgeous with deep fall color, and yield 3 to 5 pounds of berries per season. But here is the trap mainstream AI videos hide from you. The USDA Hardiness Zone rule for potted roots. A container holds a small volume of soil. The roots are exposed directly to the freezing air and drop 2 cold hardiness zones compared to the ground. Leave this pot exposed to biting winter winds in Zone 5, and the root ball freezes solid. It Ds. Take advantage of the pot's mobility. When a hard freeze hits, roll the container flat against the house wall. Catch that radiant heat, or bury the pot under wood chips. At $7 a pound for organic berries at the grocery store, this single plant pays for itself in year 1. Let's do a quick pause here. If this strict soil pH breakdown and the 2-zone root rule just saved you from throwing real money away, clicking that subscribe button is the smartest free decision you'll make today. Hit the button right now. Turn on notifications, because our next few trees are absolute space-saving rewrites. That brings us to number 4, the dwarf peach. Peaches have a reputation for being finicky, pest-ridden, and easily killed by frost. Potted peaches flip that script completely. Look for self-pollinating dwarf cultivars like Bonanza, El Dorado. They max out at just 5 to 6 feet tall. They are in containers. Drag them away from late spring frosts in seconds, or throw bird netting over them. Things you can never do with a 15-foot behemoth in the yard. One single tree rewards you with 20 to 40 full-sized peaches per summer. But don't fall for the romanticized AI hype. That tells you a small pot can feed a family with 0 effort. See 100 tiny green peaches forming. Keep them all, and the tree will suffer. The branches will snap, and the fruit will drop while tasting like sour paper. You must apply strict thinning. When fruits reach the size of a marble, pinch off a full 50% of the crop. It feels wrong, but it forces the tree to dump all its sugars into the remaining peaches. Peach blossoms open early, before bees even emerge. Take a watercolor brush. Gently swirl it inside the flowers every morning. Force that pollination manually, that tree-ripened juice running down your chin. While grocery store peaches cost $4 a pound, is what this is all about. Number 5, the dwarf cherry. Growing sweet cherries in the ground is a losing war against birds. Dwarf pie cherry cultivars are bulletproof solutions. Look for Romeo, Juliet. They are incredibly cold-hardy. Eat fresh beautifully, and yield 10 to 15 pounds of deep red fruit per season once mature. But mainstream stock footage channels don't tell you the real morning disaster. The exact moment your cherries turn blush pink, wild flocks will dive down and vaporize your entire harvest in 1 hour. If your tree is 20 feet tall, you are helpless. The absolute beauty of a container is height control. It takes exactly 5 minutes to toss a piece of netting over a dwarf patio pot. Tie it tight to the base. Keep the pot well drained to avoid root rot. Store-bought cherries run $8 to $10 a pound in season, meaning this container tree clears well over $100 in value every single year. Right after treating your eyes to stunning clouds of pink and white blossoms in early spring, but while a netted cherry bush spreads wide across your patio, our next tree completely rewrites the laws of space by growing like a single wooden pole straight toward the sky. Number 6, the columnar apple. These trees look like something out of a science fiction movie. Look for specific cultivars like North Pole, Golden Sentinel. They grow straight up, develop almost 0 side branches, and max out around 8 to 10 feet tall, while staying exactly 2 feet wide. You can literally line up 3 or 4 of these pots along a narrow apartment wall. Build a mini apple orchard right on a balcony. It takes up no more space than a couple of patio chairs. Each tree rewards you with 15 to 25 crisp, full-sized apples every autumn. But don't let AI-generated scripts trick you into thinking these vertical poles are maintenance-free miracles. Because columnar apples lack a traditional canopy, they are prime targets for pests like spider mites or codling moth larvae. They bury straight into the main trunk. If you miss them, the entire tree dies. The real advantage here is visibility. The tree is only 2 feet wide. It takes exactly 30 seconds every morning to scan the trunk with your bare eyes. Spot pests early and wipe them out before they cause damage. Something impossible on a massive backyard tree. Apples store beautifully in a cool closet. Skip organic apple prices at $4 a pound. And eat fresh, homegrown fruit through December. That brings us to number 7. The potted strawberry. This isn't a woody tree, but it belongs at the top of this list because it destroys the number one complaint container gardeners have: waiting years for a real harvest. Ever-bearing strawberries in a container are non-stop production machines. They give you fruit within months of planting, not years. Raising them in pots keeps the berries off the wet soil, completely cutting out fruit rot and blocking slugs from eating your harvest. But ignore the mainstream AI advice telling you to buy expensive vertical strawberry towers or fabric pockets. Strawberry roots are incredibly shallow and sensitive to waterlogging. Those complex towers pack the soil too tight, suffocating the roots after the first heavy rain. Instead, use a wide, shallow, well-draining pot. Mix your soil with plenty of coarse perlite to ensure sharp drainage. Here is the real money-saving trick. Ever-bearing plants shoot out long runners. Don't cut them off. Pin those runners down into a small starter pot sitting next to the main container. Once they drop roots, clip the umbilical cord. And you have a brand new strawberry plant completely free. A single pot with 6 to 8 plants will hand you fresh berries almost daily through autumn. A massive financial win over those sour, dye-sprayed store berries. That runs $7 a pound. Now, for the ultimate bonus secret that makes all 7 of these container trees double their yields. Mulch. Pack a full 2 to 3 inches of wood chips or pine bark right on top of the soil in every single container. This does 3 biological jobs. It insulates the root ball from extreme summer heat, locks in moisture so you water 50% less, and slowly breaks down to feed the soil biology. Skip the garden center bags. Flag down a local tree service crew working in your neighborhood. They will gladly dump wood chips for you, completely free, because they have to pay disposal fees anyway. You do not need land to harvest fruit like a pro. A small balcony, the right dwarf cultivars, and real biological rules are all it takes to break away from grocery store inflation. If this Real Talk video just saved your balcony garden from an expensive failure, smash that subscribe button right now. Drop a comment below and tell me exactly which tree you are potting up first. I read every single line. Now stop watching, get outside, and grow something real. I'll see you next week.